Pierre, I just mentioned before the break that we've been covering the Nolan Wells story. Honestly, it's been interesting because we have focused on this, laser focus on this story over a month. It's been the pretty much the only thing we've covered.
Okay.
And the reason for that, personally, from a producer standpoint, I don't know what else there is to really talk about. The fact that this young black teen can just disappear and then die, and then there's no explanation. I'm thinking about our safety. I'm thinking about my kids' safety. I'm thinking about a lot of people's safety. That can't be the excuse. What were your thoughts, or do you have any thoughts kind of going into it? And more specifically, do you
Yeah.
find anything suspicious, Pierre, at all?
Suspicious? Yeah. Well, I don't know him, so give me an idea, and I'll tell you if I think it's suspicious. I mean, give me a situation, and I'll tell you if I think it's suspicious. If you can come up with
Yeah,
one.
I just want to go
Devin,
ahead.
what you got on your end?
I absolutely think it's suspicious and there is absolutely foul play. There is no reason why, number one, that you would wipe your social media, period, right after it happened. And then also shouts out to the black woman who was able to get that 911 call cleaned up to where we can hear somebody, speculation, suffering in the background and asking if he's alive or not. And then also number three, I don't like the fact that some kids from the situation went on to that podcast with that anti-black man to try to show their innocence, knowing that he's anti-black. Yeah.
Wiping someone's social media, I understand. Do you know how people are vicious on social media? They'll pick anything apart, grab. Oh, I'm just saying, people do it.
No,
People,
I
other celebrities have done it. Cut their shit off, cut their whole page off, and stopped it and stuff because they were the influx of disliking or something. You might have broke up with somebody. One of those singers break. You never know. So I don't even. I understand why you'd wipe my. I would turn my stuff off, or however you want to say it. I don't need no people on my social media pounding me to death. You say something about Beyonce, you about to get it in your page. Chris, wasn't that Kid Rock had to turn this thing off because so many bees were coming in there and all that. I get it. So that I'm cool. Turning it off, I understand that. To go to that white, to go to the other guys. What's his name? What's the guy
What is
named
it?
Brandon?
He was like he was like a
Brandon
coach
Tatum.
or
Tatum.
something.
If I'm white, I'd rather go to him than somewhere else that may. Why would I? I wouldn't want his parents going to Fox News. The only one's Fox News because they're vicious. They'll do all kind of stuff. They'll turn it around what she said and frustrate him. So I wouldn't blame her if she said, "I'm not going to Fox News. I'll do CNN. I'll do some other place." I understand why she wouldn't go to Fox News. Look how Fox News would treat them. So would treat that family probably probably very bad. So I get that. So back to him. I understand why he went there. Not saying. He probably didn't want to hear all that negative slant towards him. That's probably why.
Well, it was a group of them. So I'm just
Right.
saying,
But
if you have people saying that you murdered or speculating
sure.
that you killed a black boy, right? Why would you go to a well-renowned anti-black black man? It's just gonna.
Well, I'll answer. I can answer that,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
From our end as a media platform, you know that there's going to be biasness in the type of questions. I think that's what Pierre's bringing
Sure.
up.
Sure.
The type of biasness that you're going to get. So if he came here, Hype is probably going to give some really strong questions that might put some slant on it in the guise, or excuse me, on the angle of
Come on now.
y'all looking kind of suspicious.
Yep.
So
Sure.
it's easier to get a
Well, you
story out
shouldn't
to an
do it
interview that's
anyways.
going to like.
That's what I'm saying. You
Say
shouldn't
that
be.
again?
You shouldn't even be out there doing interviews anyways, because now I'm just like, okay, so
But
you're.
if I don't do
I
interviews,
agree
You
with
know what I'm saying?
that.
So
I
like
think
you're
it's a little
going.
too early.
Yeah, I
but
mean, it's just like stay
but
out of
when
the
I don't
way.
do interviews, there's like, why ain't he saying that? Why he being quiet? Why ain't he
But if you're
speaking?
going to an
Well,
anti-black,
But that's not the
if
point. You
you're
just
going,
said he shouldn't do none. You said he shouldn't do none then.
no, it's a group of them. It was a group of
I know,
them
but
going.
why are you
Yeah.
talking about him? I'm sorry. I thought you were
Oh
talking about one
yeah.
guy went and talked on the show. Did one guy go talk to him, talk to that guy, Tatum? Was it one dude?
One guy,
Best
and then he
friend?
No, it
came
was a
back
group.
with a group.
Yeah.
I know the
with a
first
group.
No,
right, the first time.
Warren
Okay.
Warren came back started the first time, and then he
Okay.
came back with his group.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
mean, I think it's more so I think it's more so biasness.
Sure.
I don't know if it makes him look guilty versus more so what Pierre's saying.
Mm-hmm.
They want to go somewhere they're comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
I think Pierre made a great point, but I will say on my end, something very very suspicious is going on. Something happened. I find it a
Sure.
little bit easier to believe that foul play versus a kid drowns and no one sees it, and then just there's a lot of things that just had to happen against him that
Sure.
day. This was like the worst day ever, right? I'm thinking about his friends. Okay, so your boat had to be messed up. Then you had to forget to give this guy the phone. Then your friend had to end up drowning. Then no one would see your friend drowning. Like
That's the
for
problem.
things
Yeah.
to kind of go the way it did, it seemed like
Yeah.
a lot of misfortune happened at one
Yeah.
time.
No,
And
you're
you
And
know,
I
right.
don't know how much
everything,
I believe for all that
yeah.
misfortune to happen
Hmm.
versus someone did something and that again, I'm not putting it on the boys. I honestly
Hmm.
kind of think it could be other players involved in
Hmm.
looking at it,
Hmm.
which is why they probably feel confident to speak. Because even seeing them speak about it, they seem like the cops kind of already like they're not even looking at us. They're not investigating
Yeah.
us. That's the
Right.
vibe they give me. That
Hmm.
we already, my daddy know the sheriff. They
Right.
said we good, so we're out here talking. That's the vibe I
Right.
get.
Right.
Whether they are guilty or not, they seem like they already got a cosign by the local authorities, which is why you have Nolan's parents moving the way they do, because they already don't feel that this is a together thing, that they are
Right.
opposition.
Right. Well, the main.
So
Even
that's
down
my
to the
standpoint.
autopsy, even down to the autopsy, having
Yeah.
to get a private investigator, having his throat
Sure.
still be in one state while his body is in another is crazy.
Right. From the optics, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good from the optics at all. One of my major things is how did he drown and no one saw him or no one like he was around a lot of people, he didn't get back on that island by himself and no one else was there. So how did he drown and nobody saw him? There was no yelling, no one was in the water with him. He
Nothing.
just went. That is really
Yeah.
now how that happened though, it might not have been
Yeah.
those boys. The boys left. Okay, they left. Maybe someone else on the island. I don't know that part of it. You get what I'm saying? I don't know
Yeah.
that.
There's a lot
But
of, yeah.
it don't feel right that this young man just drowned. He's an athletic, but people can die. I'm gonna say you can't
Yeah.
be athletic. I know some football players who drown, who was who in the water.
Yeah.
Um, Professional football players. But the
It's
point is,
just too many.
no one
It's just
saw it.
too many
No one saw it. Yeah.
coincidences. Is how I'm
Yeah.
Yeah. And
feeling.
him
Too
being the only
many.
one being left behind.
First of all, black and white people, we just roll different. We're a little more cautious and fearful. Okay.
Mhm.
So we're
Mm,
not going to play around water and push each other around and throw somebody in the water as a game and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. That ain't how we roll.
Hmm.
White boys do a little more of that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? They might throw you in the water. You be like, I'm drowning. He ain't really drowning.
yeah.
Yeah.
Laugh it off and shit. This is how they can be. And boy, someone's drowning. Oh shit, he's drowning. Whatever. That's one. That's why the white boy spoke up. We'll speak up, like you just said. We'll walk away. Like that's none of my business, right there. They're not like that. They're not. As a whole, they want to speak up. They want to be part of it. They think they're more invincible and so forth. We not. So a lot of that is that could add to it.
I do
Yeah.
want to piggyback on the social media thing. I do want to ask you, John. So for me, if I knew that something bad happened and I wiped my social media, I would just delete my social media. I would just delete my apps. I wouldn't necessarily
Okay.
wipe it. That's where I was a little concerned. Like if I feel like I'm getting a lot of negative comments or something, they did it like the same day or like the day after.
Yeah, there was
So
a
like,
point we interviewed the judge real quick
yeah,
to co-sign that. We interviewed the judge and he pointed out that the mother, Ashley, the stepmother, Ashley Cole, the judge, she ended up taking her social media down. She said that in her first statement
Okay.
when she came back.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And the judge questioned, why did you do that when he was only missing?
Sure.
I think there's just a lot of suspicion around it, whether
Sure.
these are young teens that are just panicking and were possibly under the influence, and I say possibly for legal reasons.
hmm,
But
Mm-hmm. Sure.
pictures have shown, matter of fact, Warren did admit that they were drinking, as well as
Mm-hmm.
Trayson in another interview. Whether these are just dumb decisions, dumb moves all around,
Yep.
dumb
Yep.
moves all around,
Yep.
or someone knows something. And again, my suspicion is something probably did happen to
Oh,
Nolan,
what I know. Mm-hmm.
where some foul play is involved. Again, I don't know or quite feel it's just the boys that everyone's kind of pointing at. I think there's something else that we might be missing. We don't have the autopsy results back. We don't have a
hmm.
toxicology report back. But I can't just be like, oh, he drowned and end of story. That just
Yeah,
doesn't.
of course.
We don't know, and I don't care if he comes back and he's drowned. You're still not gonna feel it. So it's.
I still
I don't know
feel
what to
like if
tell
he
you.
drowned, somebody helped him
Drown,
drown. That's
right,
how I'm
right.
gonna
So
look at it.
Yeah, because if something happens, just say something. But if you're just
well,
you're trying to cover something up, I just feel some type of way.
well, white folks have had so
Feels.
much of this kind of stuff towards black people in the history of us, blacks and whites. So of course we're going to lean towards that. And I don't have a problem with leaning towards it. It's just, I just need to see, where's the
Yeah.
proof and what's the,
Yeah, of course.
I wish his
just want,
friends.
I'm
I
like you,
wish.
want to get to the bottom of it at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
I wish the
Yeah.
friends showed a bit more empathy
True.
Yes.
and
Very much so.
and teamed up with the mom, like, because they could have did all
Yeah,
this. Yo, Miss
exactly.
Wansley, I had nothing to do with it. Can we come and talk with you, and we can really dissect it, and then I'm here to support you. And somebody brought up a real good point. Why didn't they have like RIP Nolan Wells t-shirts on? Really kind of get on this wave of like, yo, we trying to find out what happened to our dude. I don't give a
Yeah,
damn what y'all
automatic
saying.
defense.
So I think there's some
Yeah.
error, there's some defensiveness happening, of course, clearly on their end.
All right,
But I
niggas
think
do
there's a
that. White
way
folks
that they could
don't
have
do
spent
that.
it.
White folks don't put RIP shirts on. Let's stop it. Stop the madness. When have you
Oh
ever
my
seen
goodness,
that?
Charlie
They don't.
Kirk. They
They
absolutely
don't.
do.
They don't. Okay. For him.
Come on now.
Okay, for him. Name some other people.
I'm not in white people's business
They
like
sure
that.
Okay,
did.
then.
They didn't do
But
no
you
spray
jumped up.
paint shirts, but
Come
Hold on.
they
But you
sure was
jumped up
rocking.
quickly. You jumped in there quickly. I can name a whole bunch of Rays with RIP shirts all day long. So that's what we do. We do the RIP shirts.
Well, not the
So,
shirts. I'm just saying, like in general.
yeah.
Not the shirts. I
I
don't
said
even
the
wear
shirt. He
RIP
said the
shirts.
shirts. He said the
Oh
shirt.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going
I
with
don't
the
even do
shirts.
shirts. I don't do all that.
I'm
Oh,
just saying
oh.
they could have.
They ain't
I
gonna do
think they
that.
could have. They could have spent it a bit more. And I
and
honestly
then
think they should have sat down with like a 2020 or something like that. Someone
and then we
really
be like,
prestigious.
they just trying to make it. They just trying to act like they care and stuff by putting them shirts on. Them shirts ain't no real shirts. Them cheap shirts from Japan. Them shirts ain't even real good real good cotton. Oh my God,
That's a
I
good
get it.
point, man.
Let's find out. Let's just find out
Yeah.
what the fuck happened. Let's just find out what happened. Okay, it don't feel right. Let's find out what happened. But let's get to the bottom of it. It's time to move on. I mean, once we get to the bottom of it, but we ain't moving on till then.
True.
That's
Absolutely.
right. Well, with that being said, Pierre, always a pleasure. This kind of remind me back in the day of Comedy Hype News Show, getting you to get on these topics, and starting some stuff. So I appreciate that. With that being said, how can we continue to support you? How can we keep up with you? I know you're on Instagram, but are there other things that we can be mindful of when it comes to supporting Pierre?
I got these 2 specials coming up. So we're actually right now in the middle of editing. Once I get off of here, I got to talk to my editors. They'll be dropping soon. One's called "Don't Pick Up the Hammer." I haven't labeled the other one. But just like I said, support. Really, I'm blessed. I'm working. Support this. When you support this, it makes me happy. So you guys support this channel right here, man.
You're
Honestly,
a real one.
yeah. I'm good. I've been blessed. Come see me if you want to see me live in the city, or get in the comments and tell me how mad you are about me and how you hated me coming back. And this is that.
Before you go, is Panic Room coming back? Is there conversation about
Yes.
that? I know people
Yes.
ask you.
Yes. Oh no. Yes, without a doubt. Especially right before I drop these specials. I've got a couple of interviews laid up, man. And I'll tell you something real quick. What kind of got me a little sad about me having a podcast was I would get some guests, some guests, not many, but some guests who would say, kind of don't want to talk about certain things. I was like, all right. But then they would run to your boy over there, you know who, and bump the gums about the same subject. I'm like, hold up. You didn't want to talk about it on my platform, but you're going to run to him or the other one? You run on their platform and talking? And you a brother and you down for us? Really?
That's right.
That really bothered me. I'm like, dude, I've known you in the trenches. I've come up with you, dude, in the comedy game for 30 years. And you don't want to talk about this or that, but you're going to run and tell him this or that? That's funky to me, man. Love the conversation. I'll come back again, especially right before I drop my special. Again, I love y'all over there, man. I'll see you guys around. Peace.
Absolutely. It's great having you.